Well, this is my first introduction to Bitcoin not too long ago, but enough to make something out of it. And basically, I really like the information that I got. I like Bitcoin. I like everything about it. I thought it was pretty damn smart to invent such a thing. But I'm always skeptic, always skeptic of what's going on behind Bitcoin. They say Satoshi or whatever, Japanese guy or group has invented it, but I'm always skeptical. Anyways. The reason I'm doing videos is because I want to get some interaction. I want to get interaction with people. So basically, a couple of friends of mine, we decided to get friends of us introduced into Bitcoin. Not in investing, but just introduce them to the idea, to show them a little bit, because everybody's asking about what is Bitcoin? What is it exactly? What is it? And basically the answer is it's just a form of value. Okay, it's just a value. It's another means of money, sort of the way I see it. Something that you could actually exchange, barter with something else. Money is a form, and so is Bitcoin. Most people get confused when I tell them, they say, well, what is Bitcoin? I mean, I tell them it's a form of value, and they say, well, what does that mean? What do you mean by that? I said, well, do you understand what a dollar is? They say, yes, I buy and sell things with it. I say, of course. But the dollar has a lot of negative aspect, and that's when there's a big aha. They don't get it. They don't understand that, a dollar devaluates every year. There's quite a bit of there's a huge list of negativity that comes with a dollar. It's just another form of value, a new invention, okay? And it's connected to the blockchain. When you say blockchain, you say Bitcoin. You say Bitcoin, says blockchain. And what is blockchain? It's the same thing as a bank, basically, but it's many. Imagine many banks. One bank called Bitcoin with many ledger. Do you understand what a ledger is? A ledger basically is if you have many accounts, right? When you go to the bank and you take $50 and you put it in the bank. Well, they don't have a small piggy bank where it says your name on it. It's basically they throw that money in a pile and they just put your name. They put $50. And that's it. That's how they know that you have $50. And when you pull out $20, they say, okay, whatever name, minus $20. So 50 minus 20, 30. That's how much you have left. Same thing with Bitcoin. It's basically ledgers that are kept on many computers around the world. Pretty simple, right? Now I'm gonna go a little deep into it. And if you guys don't understand what Bitcoin is, again, there's many videos explaining, and just do questions down there. I'll be happy to answer them. Why Bitcoin? I think it's a new type of, there's a lot of good reasons why, because if I mention to the beginners, they won't understand. It's decentralized. Those are the good topics. There's only a certain amount left. People say there's 21 million. I think I've read there's only left because a lot of people have lost their Bitcoins. It's easy to lose Bitcoins. So that's what happened. A lot of people lost their Bitcoins. I believe last time I checked was there was 4 million Bitcoins. I think they were lost. Apparently Satoshi has 1 million. So that leaves you with not much left. So if you look at that number and then you think how many people around the world, if everybody would like to have one Bitcoin, the price is going to go up pretty significantly. What is a blockchain? Blockchain, again, it's a ledger, right? It's just the machine that functions Bitcoin, so to speak. Many computers that tells me, how many Bitcoins I have, how many I sent to you, and this and that. It's basically just a book of accounts that is basically on everybody's computer around the world. Okay, whoever has a node has a computer, has a node, has a ledger of since the first day it was traded all the way to now. It's pretty interesting, but it's basically another form of value. It's like, imagine gold. It has a value, because remember, dollars. It took a long time before dollars came in. It took 400 years before gold, right? Gold was traded. Then when they introduced paper, people didn't like that whole aspect of paper. It took 400 years to get paper money involved in the market. And I think it took around 50 to 60 years or 40 years for plastic credit cards to be introduced, because people were like, oh, what's a credit card? They didn't really understand it. Kind of like the internet right now. If I told you 20 years ago, hey, look, there's a thing online, it's called the internet, and you could buy clothes. You would say, well, where's the store? I'd say there's no store. You wouldn't understand, but now you understand because we've been through it. Same thing with Bitcoin. It takes a little bit of time, but once you get it, you get it. Just to add a little bit on the confusion, okay? How many Bitcoin is there? It's free market, right? So anybody could invent a Bitcoin. They could take the code, it's free for all, and they could invent any Bitcoin. So now we have almost, I think, was it 4? You have Bitcoin Core, which is, I like to call it the main one. That's where the core developers are, and I believe they have the best interest in art. That's my belief. You have Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is a fork. Now, what's a fork? They call it a fork, but basically is you just take Bitcoin, right? You take the coding aspect of it and you create another Bitcoin, and you call it Bitcoin Cash. That's what it's called. People don't like to use the term, some of them, but whatever. We also have Bitcoin Gold. Yes, I know, it's kind of weird. And now you have, well, I think it's completely absurd, Bitcoin Diamond. Anyways, you have these 4, but the main one is Bitcoin Core. All right, that's the main one. And that's the one that is now priced, I think, almost at $9,200 and going up very, very quickly. A little too fast for my taste. It bothers me. I like to see Bitcoin to be used as value, as a trading, as to buy and sell. Unfortunately, I think people are not using it so much because it's going up in value so quickly. And why is it going up in value? I'm wondering myself. I'm looking at it. I started looking around, and there's a thing called Tether. Yes, it's another form of cryptocurrency. There are about 1,000. I forget to mention this. There's about 2,000-3,000. I don't know if there's 2,000-3,000, about 2,000 different tokens like Bitcoin. But other people invented other coins out there, and there's all kinds of names. I don't get involved too much into them because I look at all of them. I try to look at all of them, but I don't get involved. I don't buy. Check out the mempool. Mempool is basically well, for beginners, I'm gonna tell you, it's a site where you basically see if people are actually using Bitcoin as a transaction, of a means of value, of buying and selling things on it or not. I believe, so correct me if I'm wrong in this one. In the past 6 months, it has been growing so quickly, and like I said, it's too quickly for my own taste, all right? Too fast. Now you have the futures market. The futures market's in New York, it's going in soon, and let me explain to you something real quick, before I turn this off. Okay, there's all Tether, and that bothers me a little bit. I know some people are gonna say, no, but look, it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. What it is platforms, right? Because there's platforms out there, companies that have decided to create platforms in order to trade tokens, Bitcoin from Ethereum, Monero, which are the popular ones, Litecoin, and other tokens. There's about 1,000. Every platform has a certain amount of token that they trade, that they use. Some of them, they say, I don't like this token, I'm not going to use it on my platform. So you got a bunch of platforms out there. And one of these new tokens is called Tether. The idea is great. It's about taking a dollar and saying this dollar is equal to 1 Tether. So let's say I have Bitcoins right now, and I think Bitcoin's going to drop. It's going to go from 9,200, it's going to drop to 8,000, and then it's going to go up. But when it drops, I'm thinking, okay, I'd like to get out of that, hold on to cash, have the drop, then when I know it's going to come back up, I put my cash back in and I buy more and make more Bitcoin. Okay, the problem I'm seeing with this is that Tether, something's going on, and I think Tether is basically started, it's working with Bitfinex, which is one of the biggest platform out there, one of the biggest one. I'm hoping nothing's going to happen, but basically what's going on is anytime somebody has a Bitcoin, he takes the Bitcoin out and he gives that to Tether, and he gets 8,000, well now I think it's almost 9,000 a Bitcoin. So if you have $9,000 worth of Bitcoin, which is 1 Bitcoin, you take 9,000 Tether, right? Because every Tether is equal to $1. It's pegged on $1. So if you have 1 Bitcoin, which is worth 9,200, I think now, you have now 9,200 Tethers. And what you do with this basically is you hold on. Some people hold on to it as they're trading. They're waiting for up and down. Because remember, a lot of people into this for the money, right? A lot of investors. Some people like personally, I love the technology of Bitcoin. I adore it. I think it's phenomenal. But a lot of people, myself as well, a little bit. I mean, let's face it. Everyone wants to make a profit. But so anyway, so Tether is, I believe, what they're doing is they're receiving Bitcoin and they're giving Tethers out. And when they give Tether out, they should realistically have the same amount of dollars in their bank accounts. But there's been talk about where's those bank accounts, where's that bank? And I understand that this came up because of the difficulty of having banks work with Bitcoins. Every time there's a bank that works with Bitcoins, they get penalized. So anyways, we'll do another video on this, but this is a very exciting topic. I don't think Bitcoin is ever going to go down. I think it's just going to go up, 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 up. It might go down and up and down, because it's been like this forever. But it's always going to go up that's my belief. I mean, I'm not a financial analyst. I don't listen to me about any finance at all, but these are just my personal thoughts. So any questions, write it down and let's talk soon.